Ladies and gentlemen, if we were to go into a recession right now, which in some places, in some industries, it's already in a recession, half of this country would not be able to pay unemployment insurance. Unemployment insurance in this country, when you look at it in comparison to other countries on the planet, it really is not good here. And this is another reason why it is so unappealing for many foreigners to come here, especially if they're getting free health insurance in other nations. And I know this from when I was in Germany, those folks can get unemployment a lot longer for a longer period of time in those European countries than you can here in America. After a certain period of time, they want to kick you off. They don't care what your circumstances are. But over there, if you're unemployed for the next year and a half, you get unemployment for the next year and a half, or even 2 years or 3 years. That's how their system is set up. But over here, they give you the axe. And this is why you're not going to get when Trump was talking about, let's try to get people from Norway. Those folks aren't going to give up that kind of unemployment benefits and free health insurance to come here and pay for that shit. Are you kidding me? They're not going to do that. You set up your system to be unappealing. You got horrible family plans through these jobs when people have babies. All of your plans, everything is horrible here. Shoot, they got way better plans over in their countries where they can be off and spend more time with their newborn babies. In America, 6 weeks, get back to work. Your policies are terrible. It's not appealing enough for those kind of people to come over here. And if Trump would just do his homework, he would have known that before he opened his mouth talking about bring more people over from Norway. They're not coming here. Come here for what? And deal with this sucky system that you got in place? Nobody's that stupid, okay? So half of the states in this country are not even prepared to cover unemployment if we went through a recession, which means that folks that are not working would be guaranteed to be screwed over. And it certainly would create another class of homeless people in this country. I'm going to go ahead and play this audio that came out on marketplace.org.
This is Marketplace. I'm Kimberly Adams. The unemployment rate in the U.S. is near a 50-year low, so it follows that claims for unemployment benefits at the state level are also historically low. But eventually, we're likely to hit another recession, and regardless of whether it's as bad as the last one, the Great Recession, it will probably come with some job cuts, and the people cut from those jobs will look to claim those unemployment benefits. Now, how and whether to prepare for this is largely up to the states. Marketplace's Mitchell Hartman has more on this from Portland, Oregon.
On a recent weekday afternoon, this Oregon employment office near downtown Portland was pretty busy. People waited to apply for unemployment insurance or check on their benefits. Others sat at computer kiosks searching for jobs online. And the laptop, yeah. Oregon's unemployment rate is just 4.1% right now, but some people are still out of work, like Michael Potts, age 54.
I just got laid off last week, so I'm currently looking for work and did a little bit of studying for a CDL, commercial driver's license.
His last job was driving for Amazon, making $16.25 an hour. He expects he'll get about half that in unemployment insurance. He's been through this before after getting laid off from a grocery store job in 2014.
Having that unemployment helped me out tremendously. I would have lost my apartment and started living on the streets. It's very harsh.
That infusion of cash doesn't just keep workers afloat. Unemployment benefits help keep businesses going. Nick Balachiks is Oregon's state economist.
What they do is help stabilize
particularly local economies. So employers are really interested in keeping workers nearby for when the economy starts to recover again. And they also need something to help make up for the lost sales in the area due to people's incomes dropping.
Now, here's how unemployment insurance works. States collect taxes from employers, then pay out benefits from the state's unemployment trust fund to laid-off workers. Workers who are fired or quit are usually ineligible, so are temps and contract workers. Benefits usually last 6 months, but when lots of people are unemployed, the federal government sometimes extends benefits for longer and picks up part of the cost. Michelle Evermore at the National Employment Law Project says states can get into trouble.
States went into the last recession with not enough money in their unemployment trust funds, and so they had to borrow a great deal of money.
35 states had to borrow from the feds to cover extended benefits. And many that did, including California, New York, Colorado, and Ohio, still aren't solvent now after years of economic expansion and very low unemployment. According to the Labor Department, 23 states still don't have enough saved in their trust funds to cover a year of benefits in a typical recession. Evermore says they could reform their systems and make employers pay more.
The most obvious step that many states can take is to increase the wage base. So right now, many states are still only taxing the first $7,000 of wages, and that hasn't increased since 1983.
Evermore says some states that now look good on paper, with enough money in their trust funds to remain solvent in a recession, have actually gotten there by reducing unemployment benefits to cut costs. Florida, for instance, has cut the maximum amount and duration of benefits and tightened eligibility rules so fewer unemployed workers qualify.
These reductions have happened in a time of economic expansion, and so we won't really see a macroeconomic effect until the next recession kicks in and broad numbers of people see that benefits have been cut in their state.
In the Great Recession, states borrowed $42 billion from the feds to pay benefits when their trust funds ran out. California just finished paying back its multi-billion-dollar debt last year. I'm Mitchell Hartman for Marketplace.
Now, you heard that. Ladies and gentlemen, usually during recessions, unemployment skyrockets during that period of time. So I'm not surprised they had to borrow from the feds, but no matter how you look at it, it's not good for the American people. Now, I know during the last recession, I knew several people that weren't working. And this government left them high and dry. You really got to look at what happened during 2007. They cut people off. Folks could not find work. A lot of people couldn't find work. There was a big bulk of people that just gave up and stopped looking for work. So it turned out to be a bad situation in 2007, 2008 for many people in this country, especially when they lost their jobs. And this is something it is really critical for our community to prepare for this time around. What do you have to fall back on if you are unemployed for an extended period of time? Would you be able to survive? What would you do? Do you have any family or people around you that can help out? Do you have food banks around you where you could lean on getting some food that that you're going to need? So those are questions that you need to ask yourself before this next recession hits, and it's right around the corner, y'all. There are states right now that are saying they're on the verge of recession. I was looking at some of the articles that were out yesterday, and there's about 5 states that are saying they may be looking at recession a lot sooner than they thought. And it's going to have that domino effect around the country. So all we got to do is make sure we know where the resources are so that you have access to it. Don't wait to the last minute if something does happen, especially if you become unemployed. Try to look for these things so that you know exactly what to do. If something happens in your state is going to make you wait for extended periods of time before you get your unemployment, or if you can even get unemployment at all, like they were saying, if you have a temporary job, or, working as a contractor, you may not be eligible for unemployment at all. So, what do you do under those circumstances? But one thing I can honestly say, especially about the Black community, we are probably the most resourceful people on earth when it comes down to stretching a dollar, because we have been placed in such, this state that we've been in for centuries, that we have learned to adjust to it. And we can certainly stretch a dollar like no other. So those are the things we do have on our side. And really, we should be able to rely on each other during the tough times. You know, that would also bring us together as a community. But y'all, please tell me what you think about half of the country don't even have the money in their trust to cover unemployment during a recession. Tell me what you think. Please leave your comment and subscribe. Don't forget to hit on the notification bell, and I'll see you on the next video. Peace, family.